Let me start by describing something I see constantly. Someone decides they want to work in cybersecurity. They do a random search online and they say, what certifications do I need to get started? And boom, immediately they're overwhelmed. They see long roadmaps, endless certification lists, conflicting advice, courses promising jobs, and people arguing in comments. At that point, most people don't feel excited, they feel behind. And that feeling is the first real barrier into this field. So before we even talk about certifications, I think we need to address the confusion. Because the confusion isn't accidental. It's caused by people oversimplifying a very complex hiring process. And today, I think we need to reset that. This isn't a hype video. It's not a shortcut video. This is a SOC reality check video. I think we need to clarify right out the gates that certifications aren't really for you. They're for the employer. Specifically, they're for HR, headhunters, and applicant tracking systems. That's it. Nothing else. When a company posts a SOC analyst role, they might get hundreds or thousands of applications for one singular role. And there's no way they could possibly interview everyone that applies for that position. So the best way to get through it, honestly, is to use certifications as a filter. Do you have Sec Plus? Do you have this certification? Do you have this certification? That's it. That's all it's used for. And here's the worst part about this entire situation. It's usually not the hiring manager that's asking for this. Usually it's HR coming in and saying, well, all these other companies that hire for this same standard company position name are looking for this. So obviously we're just as good as them. So now we have to ask for it. And so HR goes through, they add these filters in there, and they reduce the volume of available applicants down to a reasonable number. And the more applicants that they have after each filter goes into place, the more they keep on adding more filters onto it. And this is why you may get a role which is considered to be entry level that's asking for CISSP, because it's unreasonable, but somebody in HR has no idea what they're doing. And they're like, oh, well, CISSP. I saw CISSP on a job role, and this sounds close, so we're going to put it on there. This is why someone can have multiple certifications and still fail the SOC interview, because it's not designed for that. The certification got them through the door. It got them through the gatekeeper. It got them through HR. But the interview tested for something entirely different. It tested for knowledge. Knowledge that a certification is not going to teach you. It tested for common sense. It tested for the ability to critically think. It tested for basic knowledge of reading logs, basic knowledge of understanding that this measures up against this, and this is collaborated, and going through the entire process so you can figure out what an incident is, and then understand the basic workflow from identifying an incident from an alert and moving all the way up the workflow. Understanding this distinction should change how you approach everything when it comes to certifications. Let me show you what an entry-level SOC work actually looks like. This right here. This dashboard with alerts and the noise and all the great things that come along with it. Look, you're not hacking. You're chasing attackers. You're not deciding what matters and what doesn't. That skill is not tested by certifications. Understanding logs is an art form. Security Plus exists for one simple reason. That's it, just one. It teaches you vocabulary. It teaches you the basics, the foundations. It teaches you about threats. It teaches you about vulnerabilities. It teaches you the basic concepts of risk and controls, but it doesn't make you a SOC analyst. It helps you understand what people are talking about. It helps you understand the vocabulary associated with the position, with the job, so that when you show up, you don't sound like a bumbling idiot. You can actually grasp the acronyms. You can grasp the theory behind it, but in no way, shape, or form prepares you for a position that allows you or requires you to use your hands, to use your brain, to understand how logs work. It was never designed as such. And a lot of companies, a lot of organizations that think it does, well, they're idiots. And I hate to be that way, but it's just the truth, right? Security Plus was great for its time. It's fantastic. And it's blown up to this certification that does well beyond what was original intent was. Security Plus was designed for IT people to better understand cybersecurity. And then when cybersecurity became more popular, it became that foundational knowledge base of what cybersecurity is supposed to be about. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. You need Security Plus. But just because you need Security Plus doesn't mean it's going to go magically get you a job as a SOC analyst. It provides the foundations of knowledge, and it's a stepping stone. That's it. That's all it is. SOC alerts don't exist in a vacuum. They exist because traffic is constantly moving. It's constantly going from point A over to point Z. If you don't understand what normal traffic looks like, then every alert feels scary. Every packet looks like it's causing some type of harm. Even now, when you're scrolling through this and we see all the red, it brings out an alert to you, right? This is why network fundamentals matter more than people like to admit, because all of the traffic you're seeing right now is completely normal traffic. Most security logs live on Linux, but here's the dirty little secret no one wants to tell you. You don't need to memorize the commands. Anytime you need access to a command, there's literally a computer, Google, and now ChatGPT as well as AI, always there to help you, always there to assist you. What you need to understand, what they can't help you with, is how to read those logs. You need to understand what those logs mean, who logged in, from where, what time, and when that behavior looks wrong. CYSA is quite possibly one of the best foundational cybersecurity certifications out there. And I know I said foundational, but it comes after Security Plus. And the reason I say that it's foundational is because I really don't believe that Security Plus is a true foundational cybersecurity certification. I mean, it comes after IT in most cases, and it teaches the language, it teaches the verbiage, it teaches, the vocabulary, but it's baseline cybersecurity, whereas CYSA is a true, in my personal opinion, cybersecurity certification. It teaches about logs and detection and alert triage. It's helping you decide what matters and what doesn't, and it trains you to think like an analyst. That's why it aligns so well with SOC roles. It's probably one of the best certifications out there when it comes to cybersecurity. And if I'm a hiring manager for a SOC, I'm looking at CYSA going, this one aligns almost perfectly with those SOC roles. Now, there are some SIEM-focused certifications available out there. Not every last one of them's got a certification attached to it, but there are some. And I think that training the hands-on element is actually more important than the actual certification. Remember, SOCs live inside of a SIEM. If you understand a SIEM, you understand the job. Vendor certifications don't make you a senior, but they can make you a productive faster. That matters to hiring teams. I want to be able to get you in and start you working as soon as possible. My goal is that you're able to work by yourself within 60 days. And I know a lot of you are like, whoa, 60 days? That much? Yeah, actually that much. In most cases, we hire somebody, we're doing 3 months of training before they can go out on their own and do anything really productive. Another great certification is Microsoft FC200. It's that quiet, kind of powerful certification because it really kind of teaches that alert triage and Defender and Sentinel, and it's really incredibly valuable if you're in a Microsoft-heavy environment. This certification 100% matters. This isn't just theory, though. It's workflow as well. And because of that, it's got a great context, and it beats out the popularity that you might see in a lot of other foundational certifications. Linux is almost mandatory in security. The certifications, however, they're very optional. You don't need to memorize the commands. You need to understand the logs, the behavior, and the permissions. That's what SOCs care about. They care about that ability to read things. And this is hard for a lot of people to understand, but you have to remember your job as an analyst is to read logs. Your job is to be able to identify what's going on in that environment and detect and identify anything that doesn't belong. Now, I have already picked on CASP and CISSP, especially for entry-level positions, and I can't help but pick on them some more. But advanced certifications, they're not entirely useless. They're not, and you'll notice that I've got CISSP on my resume. It's a great certification at my level. But if you're just starting into cybersecurity, you are way too early to start thinking about CASP and CISSP. Matter of fact, you may be putting yourself in a predicament where the hiring manager is looking at you if you do somehow obtain that certification and thinking you're overqualified. And then you've got too many certifications and not enough experience. You're just early without real exposure. Advanced certifications become more of a memorization exercise. That's why people feel certified but still feel lost in interviews. Experience is what activates that advanced knowledge. And without that experience, all that knowledge is pretty useless. You're putting the chicken before the egg. or is it the egg before the chicken? Now, we talked about certifications, and we talked about how you can have all these great certifications, but no real world experience, and you get that interview, but you fail. So I think it's important to kind of talk about that interview just a little bit as well. SOC interviews are not there to trick you, right? A hiring manager isn't going out of their way to rule you out. That's not their goal. They're there to find the best party to the position, the best person for that position, and they want to bring them up very, very quickly. So they ask questions to make you think. They want to understand what your process is. They want to understand, why does this alert exist? Can you answer that? What does this alert do? What data would you check next? What's your workflow? How would you escalate it? Or would you escalate it at all? Would you ignore it? Certifications don't answer that. Experience does. And so you need to work with both the certification route to get through the HR gateway, but you also need to have the hands-on experience, which I know a lot of students reach out to me and they go, how do I get hands-on experience if I can't get the job? Well, you do free labs. You practice what's available online. And I know it could get very expensive, but there's a lot of free resources out there even today. And if you keep following this channel, I'm going to provide you a lot of them. So how do you use certifications correctly? The right way to think about certification is to use them to get past that HR gateway, to build your vocabulary, to build commitment. But you want to pair them with labs. You want to try and get real data, right? Mix them with a lab environment, but if you're in your own home, you're capable of grabbing the data off your own computer systems. Now, you'll notice I never do that because I'm not going to publish my data on YouTube, but you could do it at your house and grab that information. You want that real data. You want those real alerts to come through so you can actually see what's going on within your system. That's going to make you a better analyst. And you can couple those with pen testing labs to see what happens when somebody's trying to break into a machine while you're monitoring it. So you have that a little bit of experience as well. A home lab is going to, if done correctly, set you apart well above everybody else in your working class. This channel is devoted to teaching you how to think like an analyst. In this series, we're going to break down why SOC analysts ignore alerts, how Wireshark tells stories, how SIEM noise actually works. If you want those skills to translate to real jobs, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.